Okay, now on these trucks, in the previous video I talked about the hydraulics and what controls them and how awesome it is. And it is awesome because in the old days, and I'm qualified to speak about the old days because I've been driving front loaders for 30 years. I had a Dempster years and years ago that had a rod array here. You know, you operate the controls like this, and it connected to other rods that went right through the back of the cab and connected directly to the valve body, and that is serious old school. And as they progressed, we had easy packs where they started to hook up cables which would come off of the rod array, go down out the bottom of the cab, come around, and then hook to the controls. Nowadays everything is electronic, and that's a good thing in that it's easier to operate and it's quicker, but it could be a bad thing when the electronics go bad, because everything on this truck nowadays works on a prox switch. A prox switch is a switch when metal is near it. It activates or deactivates depending on how it's set. This is the access door to get behind the blade. Now, as we work the blade all day long, garbage comes around it, small pieces, and garbage comes over it when you're not paying attention, and we have to get back there and clean that every day. You have to clean it out by hand with your shovel. Now there's a prox switch at the top of that door that tells the system that the door's open, and that's the most important prox switch you have on the truck, because if some fool gets behind the blade with the engine running, it shuts the entire electrical system down to the hydraulics. Nothing works. However, it's still never, ever, ever a good idea to get behind that blade with the engine running, because as we all know with electronics, they fail. And if you have a printed circuit board go bad or a prox switch go bad while you're behind that blade with the engine running, you are not going to want to bet your life that you can make it out this door by the time that blade gets to you, because when that blade does reach you, it's going to reach you at 2,100 pounds of pressure per square inch, and it's going to push you against that bulkhead until it squeezes the life out of you. And the reason it's going to do that is because the blade operates on prox switches as well, and those are here. And when I activate the control in the cab to auto pack, the blade will go back to a certain point until it reaches this prox switch. Once it hits that prox switch, it tells the system that it's where it needs to be, and then it will automatically come back until it hits this prox switch, and then it will shut off. Now, here's where the problem comes if you get caught back there. If you're back there when that blade is coming back, it's not going to be able to reach that prox switch. And what it's going to do is it's going to squeeze the life out of you. And what it's going to do is it's going to squeeze the life out of you until, one, the truck runs out of fuel, or two, somebody finds you dead back there and shuts the truck off. Now, I know here in Florida, you know, when it's 98 degrees and you've got to get behind the blade, you want to keep that truck running because you want to come out of that blade, which is over 100 degrees in there, and you want to get into a nice air-conditioned cab. And in the north, it's the same thing except opposite. You know, you're back there freezing your butt off, you know, in 30-degree weather. You want to get into a cab that's nice and warm and cozy, so that's why you leave the truck up running. However, you don't want to take that one chance that you're going to be the guy that's back there when something goes wrong, because like I said, you're not going to want to bet your life that you're going to be able to make it out that door before that blade gets to you, because if you don't, it's going to cost you your life. I guarantee you that. But that's how the prox switches on the truck work, and we have a bunch of them. We have one up top for the top door, lets us know when it's open and closed. There's one on the tailgate right here, lets us know when the tailgate's open and closed. And if you forget to put these pins in right here, these cylinders will leak down, and that prox switch will tell you, will set an alarm off in the truck to let you know that the tailgate's either about to be open or is open. So, but that's how the prox switches on the trucks work, and these trucks have a bunch of them on them. And like I said, it's a good thing and it can be a bad thing. It's only a bad thing when you get behind that blade with the engine running, and it could be very bad. That's why you never do it.